She leaned across the table, tossed a slice of cake onto my plate like I was a damn dog, and whispered, "You'll do as I say, accept my affairs, or end up homeless." The whole room was still clapping from the toast. To Madison, the breadwinner who feeds our loser son. They laughed. My family laughed. At me. I just stared at her. She smiled like a villain straight out of a soap opera. Perfect teeth, fake sympathy. Her hand brushed my shoulder, not lovingly, but like she owned me. And I realized, she didn't just cheat on me. She trained everyone around her to believe I deserved it. I felt something crack inside my chest. Something permanent. I didn't say a word that night. Just smiled for the cameras, nodded at the fake praise, swallowed the damn cake like poison. But the next morning, I vanished. No goodbye. No fight. Just a note on the counter. Keep the bacon. I'm out. I booked a one-way ticket to Denver and disappeared before she could open her eyes. And that's when the real story began, with 151 missed messages from the woman who thought I'd never leave. When I landed in Denver, I switched my phone back on. The screen lit up like a Christmas tree. 151 messages. 32 missed calls. All from Madison. The woman who just 24 hours ago tossed me a crumb of cake and called me a loser in front of my family. Now she was acting like I had been kidnapped. The first message? Where the hell are you? This isn't funny. The second? If you don't come home tonight, we're over. Then the tone shifted. Please, baby. It was just a joke. You're overreacting. I didn't mean what I said. I was nervous. I wanted to impress your family. Come home. Let's talk. She went from power-drunk goddess to desperate housewife in less than 12 hours. I turned off the phone. Let her panic. I checked into a cheap hotel near Union Station. The room smelled like old cigarettes and cleaning spray. But it felt like peace. It felt like freedom. I sat on the bed for a long time, staring at the wall. Not really thinking. Just letting my body realize I was finally away from her poison. The thing is, I knew she was cheating. Not at first. Madison was smart. Too smart. She kept things quiet. Strategic business trips. Night strategy meetings with coworkers. A new trainer at her gym that she suddenly clicked with. But I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to be the idiot husband who trusted his wife because love is supposed to mean trust. Right? Wrong. The first real crack showed 3 months ago. Madison had just gotten home from a branding event. She smelled like men's cologne and the kind of guilt you can't Febreze away. I asked her how it went, and she gave me a tight smile. You wouldn't understand. It's complicated. Then she went to shower. With her phone. That night, I couldn't sleep. So I checked her laptop. Just once. Just to ease my gut. Her messages were still open. Jason. She was calling him baby. She told him she loved the way he grabbed her hair. How I never made her feel like a real woman. She said I was too soft. Too boring. Too available. I should have packed my bags then. But I didn't. I closed the laptop and swallowed it like poison. And now, here I was, hiding in a hotel room with bloodshot eyes and a racing heart, because I finally snapped. She pushed too far at that party. She humiliated me, cornered me, threatened me. She thought I wouldn't leave. She thought I couldn't. And now she was realizing she was wrong. At 2 a.m., I checked my phone again. More messages. I didn't cheat. Not really. It wasn't like that. Jason meant nothing. We stopped months ago. You're blowing this up. Don't throw our marriage away over a mistake. I threw the phone against the wall. Not hard enough to break it. Just hard enough to shut her up. And then, I laughed. Because for the first time in years, I wasn't afraid of her. Not her games. Not her voice. Not her lies. She wasn't in control anymore. I was. And she was terrified. The next morning, I woke up to a new message from an unknown number. It read, "You're not the only one she played." I blinked at it for a second, unsure if it was a prank. Then, another text followed. "Check your email. Just helping a fellow idiot out." Curiosity beat caution. I opened my laptop, logged into my old Gmail, the one I barely used anymore, and there it was, a message titled, "The Affair File." No greeting. No name. Just a Google Drive link in one sentence. "If you're still stupid enough to miss her, read this." I clicked. What I found, it wasn't a bombshell. It was a damn nuclear warhead. Screenshots of messages. Photos of Madison with different men, not just Jason. There was Trey, a tattoo gym owner who she apparently spent weekends with doing yoga. There was Nick, her work husband, who looked like he belonged in a cologne commercial. One photo was taken in a hotel mirror. Madison wore my favorite black dress, the one I bought her for our anniversary. She was straddling Nick, middle finger up to the camera like it was some game. The timestamps didn't lie. Some of those nights, she'd come home to me, kiss me, and whisper, "I missed you." And I had believed her. A fire started in my chest. Not anger. Not heartbreak. Something colder. Something surgical. That was the moment I stopped being the victim and started planning. I called my lawyer. His name's Daniel Knox. Best divorce shark in Miami. I told him everything. No sugarcoating. Madison's affairs, the emotional abuse, even the blackmail about making me homeless. He chuckled. She's arrogant. That's good. Arrogance leaves paper trails. While he got started, I needed backup. So I called Jacob, my childhood friend, and, conveniently, a cybersecurity freak. He owed me one from when I bailed him out of a DUI mess 6 years ago. "Tell me you didn't sign anything she put in front of you," Jacob said. "Only our prenup." "Good. That prenup might just be your escape pod." By the afternoon, I had all her passwords. Jacob hacked into her cloud, her backup drives, and her second email. He found secret Uber rides, deleted calendar invites, voice memos she thought were gone. In one recording, Madison actually said, "He's not going anywhere. He needs me to survive." And then she laughed. That laugh used to make me fall in love. Now it made me feel like I was standing in fire and smiling. Jacob sent me a zipped file of everything. I named it MadisonUnmasked.zip. Yeah, petty. But it felt right. That night, I went out. I walked Denver's cold streets with no destination. Just air, wind, silence. I passed bars filled with noise and flirtation. I passed couples holding hands. None of them knew how close they were to this kind of hell. And I wondered how many other guys were living like I had. Trapped, controlled, humiliated, all while everyone around them thought their wife was some amazing woman. She fooled everyone, but not anymore. Back at the hotel, I opened the messages again. Her last one was short. "Please come home. We can fix this." I didn't reply. Instead, I opened the folder labeled Assets. Because tomorrow, I wasn't just filing for divorce. I was taking the house, the car, the bank account, and if I played it right, the applause she loved so much, that would die too. I needed one more thing before I filed for divorce. Closure. Not the emotional kind. I didn't want to cry it out or beg for answers. I wanted to look her in the eye while knowing I was 10 steps ahead. I wanted to let her think she still had control, just long enough for me to crush it. So I texted her, "I'll meet you for dinner. Tomorrow. Just us." She replied in seconds. "Yes. Please. I'll make reservations. I love you." The irony didn't even sting. She loved the version of me that let her get away with murder. That guy was gone. I showed up at the restaurant in a dark jacket, no tie, clean shave. Not because I wanted to impress her. I wanted to look like I was already living better without her. She needed to feel small before I burned it all down. She arrived 10 minutes late, of course. Red lipstick, low-cut dress, fake tears ready behind her lashes. "You look good," she said, smiling like we were on a first date. "You look desperate," I replied. That cracked the mask, just a little. She tried to laugh. "Come on, Logan. Can we not fight tonight? I miss you." I messed up. I was confused. "But I'm choosing you." "Us." "Us?" I leaned forward. "Jason. Trey. Nick." That doesn't sound confused to me. That sounds like a full-time hobby. Her eyes widened. "You went through my stuff?" "No," I said, sipping my water. "Your boyfriend sent me everything. Guess you're not even good at cheating anymore." She blinked. For a moment, I saw the truth. Not guilt. Not regret. Fear. That's when she snapped. "Fine. You want honesty?" I cheated. "So what?" "You were boring. You were soft. I wanted a man who could make me feel something." I nodded, calm. "You mean like Nick in the hotel room you filmed on your iPad? Wearing the dress I bought you?" She froze. Her fork slipped from her hand and clattered against the plate. People turned to look. "Logan, let's not do this here." "Oh, I think this is the perfect place," I said. "Public. Safe. Witnesses. You can't prove anything." I slid my phone across the table. On the screen? Her own voice from that deleted memo. "He's not going anywhere. He needs me to survive." She paled. "I needed you?" I asked. "No. I trusted you." Big difference. She started crying or tried to, but nothing came out but crocodile sniffles. "You really think you're going to walk away from this with sympathy? After what you did to me? After what you did in front of my family?" I panicked, she whispered. "That joke. I didn't mean it like that. I was trying to look strong. You looked evil, I said. The waiter came over, awkward and nervous. Would you like dessert? No, I said, standing. But she'll pay for everything. With her card. Logan, wait, Madison begged, standing too. Don't do this. Don't throw everything away. We can go to therapy. We can fix this. I leaned in close, so only she could hear. I already filed. Daniel knocks. Served papers hit your desk at 8 a.m. You're done. Her jaw dropped. She reached out to grab my arm, but I stepped back. Then, just before I walked out, I turned one last time and smiled. Don't forget to tip. The next morning, Madison's mask finally cracked. At 7:45 a.m., I got a text. You wouldn't. You don't have the balls to divorce me. By 8:02 a.m., she realized I did. You blindsided me. This is cruelty, Logan. You didn't even give me a chance. Then at 8:17. Please. Can we talk? I need to explain everything. By 9 o'clock, she was calling my mom. I hadn't told anyone yet, not because I was ashamed, but because I didn't want pity. I didn't want the "we always thought something was off" speeches. But Madison? She ran straight to the people she humiliated me in front of, probably hoping to manipulate them too. My mom texted me later that afternoon. She said you're making things up, that she only kissed one guy once. She was crying. Logan, are you sure? I sent her a single photo. Madison in the hotel mirror, flipping off the camera while straddling Nick. She didn't reply after that. That day, I moved out of the hotel and into a short-term apartment downtown. It was small, the walls were thin, and the furniture looked like it came from a Craigslist garage sale. But it was mine. No echo of Madison's perfume. No framed photos hiding her lies. And then came the panic storm. 3 calls from her best friend, Alyssa. She's spiraling. She's not eating. She keeps asking if you're seeing someone. 6 messages from Madison's sister, Jordan. Logan, I always thought you were too good for her. But maybe give her another shot. Even Jason, the gym guy, had the nerve to DM me. Bro, I didn't know she was married. She told me you were separated. I didn't reply to any of them. I wasn't looking back. Meanwhile, Madison was trying to play both sides. 1 minute she was threatening me. The next, she was posting sad quotes on Instagram. Sometimes we ruin the people who loved us the most. Don't take kindness for weakness. I miss the way you looked at me when I still mattered. It would have been funny if it wasn't so pathetic. Then came the real hit. Daniel, my lawyer, called me 3 days later. She's trying to block the prenup. I sighed. Of course she is. She claims it was signed under emotional distress. Is sleeping with 3 different men part of the distress? Daniel laughed. Don't worry. We're ready. And we've got enough evidence to bury her case. You'll come out clean. Still, I felt something strange that night. Not sadness. Not even anger. Just emptiness. Like I'd been fighting in a war so long, I forgot what peace felt like. I ordered takeout, sat on the floor of my new place, and ate in silence. No Madison talking over me. No cold shoulder because I forgot to compliment her. Just me. Finally. And I realized that silence? It wasn't lonely. It was healing. And just as I started to breathe again, my phone buzzed with a FaceTime request. Madison. I didn't answer. But I watched as she tried again. And again. And again. The queen was now a beggar. And I had nothing left to give her. I didn't answer Madison's FaceTime request. Or the second one. Or the 4th one that came at 3:17 a.m., with her name misspelled in the contact as Mad Dollar on, something she thought was funny when she changed it on my phone during our honeymoon. The next day, she tried a new angle. Her voice, weak and trembling, showed up in a voice memo. Logan. I know I messed up. But do you remember the night we danced in the kitchen? That stupid John Mayer song? You told me I was your home. And I believed you. Please, don't take that away. I deleted it mid-sentence. She wasn't my home. She was a trap door I'd lived under for too long. But her tactics didn't stop. They evolved. By the end of the week, Madison had gone full sympathy mode. Her Instagram was now a pity parade. A black and white selfie with mascara smudges. Caption. Everyone makes mistakes. Not everyone gets punished for them like this. A throwback photo of our wedding. Caption. What do you do when the love of your life gives up on you? She wanted public support. She wanted people to shame me, to guilt-trip me back into the cage. And it started working on them. Her friends slid into my DMs. She's breaking apart. Are you really going to throw everything away? A man fights for his wife. Be a man. I ignored them. But then I got a call from Mr. Nolan, my old boss. Logan, sorry to pry, but I've been hearing some things. Madison's been saying you got violent during an argument. I almost dropped the phone. That was her move now? Accusations? No, sir, I said, controlling my breathing. That never happened. And I've got emails, recordings, screenshots to back that up. I haven't even spoken to her in person since our dinner. He paused. Look, I'm not saying I believe her, but you know how this works. People talk. I knew exactly how it worked. A powerful woman cries wolf, and the guy with the quiet voice becomes the monster. That night, I opened MadisonUnmasked.zip and uploaded a small batch of redacted evidence. No names, no faces, just proof of betrayal onto a backup drive and sent it to my lawyer. If she goes nuclear, I wrote, I go Hiroshima. Daniel responded with a single thumbs up emoji. I needed to protect myself. Because Madison wasn't trying to get me back out of love, she was trying to control the narrative. If she couldn't win the divorce, she'd win the story. But here's the thing she never understood. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was trying to heal myself. For the first time in years, I started to remember who I was before she bent me into someone quiet and compliant. I picked up the guitar I hadn't touched in 3 years. Started writing again. Went on a hike with my old buddy, Mark, who once told me Madison gave off Cobra vibes, and I laughed harder than I had in months. I wasn't just moving on. I was rising. She, meanwhile, was drowning in her own lies and trying to drag me back under. But I wasn't reaching down anymore. By the end of that week, Madison's empire began to crumble. It started with Jason, the gym guy. I didn't even have to lift a finger. He did it all himself. One morning, I woke up to find my inbox flooded with messages. Friends, coworkers, even my cousin's ex-girlfriend sent me a screenshot. Jason had gone live on Instagram. Let's set the record straight, he said into the camera, pacing shirtless like some wannabe influencer. Madison told me she was divorced. I didn't know she was married until 2 weeks ago when her husband reached out. That woman? She's a liar. And to be honest, she's not even that good in bed. He went on a 5-minute rant, exposing every little lie she told him, including the one about being a victim of an emotionally abusive marriage. He even showed screenshots, one where she told him, I've got Logan wrapped around my finger. He's weak. The internet devoured it. Her sympathy campaign died on the spot. She tried to post a tearful video response, but the comments were brutal. So who's the victim now? Damn, girl. You played yourself. Hope Logan's living his best life. I watched it all unfold with the calm detachment of a man who had already grieved. Madison wasn't mine anymore. She was just a walking headline, and I was free. My lawyer called later that day. She's begging for a settlement. Good, I said. Make her crawl. He chuckled. Already drafting the terms. You get the house, the joint account, and her request for alimony? Denied. That night, I poured myself a drink, something simple. Whiskey. 1 cube of ice. No celebration, just acknowledgement. I stood on the tiny balcony of my rental, looking out over Denver's city lights, and finally exhaled the tension I'd been carrying for years. That was when the doorbell rang. I opened it cautiously. Madison. No makeup. Hair pulled back. Sweatshirt that looked like it hadn't been washed in a week. She looked small, like the wind could carry her off. Logan, she said. Please. I don't have anywhere else to go. I didn't move. That's not my problem anymore. She stepped forward. I was wrong. I know that now. Everything's gone. People are turning on me. My boss put me on unpaid leave because of the video. I just want to fix it. Fix it. I asked, nearly laughing. You threw gasoline on our life and lit the match. You mocked me in front of my family. Threatened me. Lied to me. Cheated like it was a second job. What exactly do you want to fix? She started crying. I just want you to hold me. One more time. I didn't. Instead, I reached behind the door, grabbed the manila envelope Daniel had couriered over that morning, and handed it to her. What's this? The final terms, I said. Sign it, and then leave. She opened it, scanned the pages, and her face twisted into something ugly. You're actually going to take everything from me? No, I said. You gave everything away. I'm just cleaning up the mess. She didn't sign it, not yet. But she left, and I knew she'd sign, because she had nothing else. That night, for the first time in years, I slept like a man who had his soul back. No guilt. No second-guessing. No chains. Just me. And tomorrow? Tomorrow was mine. A week later, the signed divorce papers came back. I didn't open them right away. Not because I was unsure. I just wanted the moment to feel real, to taste it without distraction. So I lit a candle, poured a drink, sat in my new apartment, surrounded by furniture I picked, colors I liked, air I could breathe. Then I opened the envelope. Her signature was shaky, rushed, almost illegible, as if her hands were trembling while she signed away the last piece of power she thought she held over me. It was done. Madison Carter, once my wife, once the woman I imagined building a life with, was now just another line item in a file. Another closed tab. And me? I was more alive than I'd been in years. In the weeks that followed, I didn't run into her. Didn't check her social media. Didn't respond to the occasional late night "I miss you" text that slipped through. Her voice, once a storm in my mind, was now just white noise I could mute at will. I focused on rebuilding, not just my life, but myself. I reconnected with old friends who used to say, "She changed you, man." They were right. I had changed into something smaller, quieter, afraid to disturb her mood swings or question her lies. Now I laughed louder. I spoke freely. I looked people in the eye again. One night, I sat across from a woman named Claire at a tiny rooftop bar. She was nothing like Madison, and that was exactly the point. She listened without pretending. She didn't need to dominate the room. When I told her the story, not all the dirty details, just enough, she didn't flinch. She looked me in the eye and said, "You didn't lose a wife. You lost a bully." I smiled for a long time after that. The thing is, when you survive someone like Madison, people assume you're broken. Damaged goods. But I wasn't broken. I was sharpened. Sharper than ever. And for the first time, I wanted to share that with someone else, not because I needed to be saved, but because I had finally saved myself. Still, there are moments. Little flickers. Like when I walked past the bakery that made our wedding cake, and I remember how she smeared frosting on my face and laughed like we had forever. Or when I see a couple fighting in public and wonder how many secrets are buried beneath their silence. But then I remind myself, that's not my life anymore. She's not my burden anymore. She's just a memory, a cautionary tale wearing red lipstick and fake apologies. To the men reading this, or living it right now, I'll say this. Leave. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually. Walk away from the lies, the humiliation, the slow suffocation. She will promise change. She will cry. She will swear it meant nothing. Don't listen. Look at her actions. Look at your reflection. If the man in the mirror looks tired, hollowed out, unsure, that's your answer. Love doesn't break you to build herself up. Love doesn't throw cake at your feet and demand loyalty while sharing her bed with strangers. You're not weak for staying too long, but you'll be strong the moment you stop. I stopped. And now? Now I wake up alone, but free. And that's a hell of a better way to live than waking up next to a woman who only ever loved the sound of applause.